So long till they don't know the birth record, so they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man, because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. I don't know, Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time. He'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. He don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this. Anyway, it's deep. The ruler. And whether you like it or not, the new ruler is black. He have hair like lamb's wool, and he has feet like burnished brass. And if y'all can't take a black leader, then you might as well get off the planet.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. That performance, tell me, that represents Elijah Muhammad any way. Tell me that represents Elijah Muhammad anyway. What a cop. First he tells you, well, second he tell you, when they keep telling you Master Muhammad is the son of man, he just told you. He's black, with woolly, lamb's wool hair. That's not Master Muhammad. That's a major contradiction right there. I'm telling you, he's the son of man. But that's that description they give of him. He just gave the description. See the contradiction? I'm going to explain that more in a minute. And then on top of that, Elijah Muhammad spent 40-some years. Master Muhammad came here over 90-some years ago, made it very clear. God is a man. Not spook, not spirit. Elijah Muhammad gave his life telling you that. Man, God is not spirit. He's a man. And when he says in person, Master Muhammad, because he represents the God at this time. He represents the God. He's the God of this time. That means it's not a permanent person. That's what it means, a person, Master Muhammad. Not a permanent person. Because Elijah Muhammad said that after 6,000 years, God will be passed back to the tribe of Shabazz. So Master Muhammad is no longer a present. Then no scientist will step up. And he's the God for that period of time. He's like the, if you want for a better term, president. But he's telling you, and you can't find anything in message or Elijah Muhammad that comes close to anything he just said, because he's telling you that you cannot worship flesh. And on top of that, Master Muhammad is the God. But he prays, who does he pray to? Yeah, so he makes it very clear. And he says he prays something that's not flesh. So he's making it very clear. Muhammad said he can't be anything other than a man. But he said he's not a man. Okay? So he tried to play games by saying, well, Master Muhammad's a God, so then what's his other thing? What's the other thing then? What is it? Originally, he the God. What is he? He don't say it, see? I'll explain a little more, go into that a little more depth in a minute. But he's telling you, Master Muhammad prays to, who does he pray to? God don't pray to anybody. That's what they call gods. I forgot, there was something I meant to include in here because people was asking, when you call Jesus, who represents the Son of Man, how come his people are not fasting and praying? And he gave an answer. I'm not going to try to repeat it because I'm not going to say it exactly like he said it. Right? But they don't understand prayer and they don't understand fasting. Now, the Sunnis don't. They don't understand what it's all about. They do it out of memory. Remember the angels, they was just doing what God told them to do. They didn't know how to do it. He says, I know what you know not. They said, we don't know anything but what you told us. Anyway, that's just total shit show there. He's telling you, God is not a man. And Elijah Muhammad spent all his life telling you that everything, and he broke everything. He emphasized it over and over and over again. And I was there. I was there from 775. And he's telling you, no, God is not a man. He's something else beyond a man, some originator. And then on top of that, it really gets deep. You think, is he on crack or something? Because if you're going to pray, you pray to something that can protect you, that can help you, right? That's why you're praying. That's the idea, right? You're praying to get protection, to help, right? So why would you pray to a memory? What a memory going to do for you? Then he said, he praying in remembrance. See, how do you get away with stuff like that? I'll show you in a minute. How do you get away with bullshit like that? He's planning to a memory. What America? Why would you need to? If you don't pray to a memory, is he going to care? Is the memory going to care? So why waste time doing it? What's the benefit of praying to a memory? Tell me, what's the benefit of praying to a memory? See, that's totally stupid, but he can get away with it, and I'm going to explain to you why in a minute. What's going on, brothers and sisters?
Ruler. And whether you like it or not, the new ruler is black. He have hair like lamb's wool, and he has feet like burnished brass. And if y'all can't take a black leader, then you might as well get off the planet.
And I just gave some verses there that backs about the dark skin and more wool hair from Book of Revelation, even though it doesn't quite mean exactly what you think it means. But the bottom line is that supports what he says. It's still, you got a description of someone that's like the Son of Man, right? So that means he looks like him. If it's not, either way, I don't want to go in detail. They're going to confuse you. But the point is, it's the wool hair and dark skin. That's description. Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let me show you something else here before we go a little further. Oh, let's go.
Brothers and sisters, one of the greatest practices in all the religions is prayer. The form and style of prayer varies from faith to faith, but prayer is universal. There is no religious community that does not pray. No prophet of God that did not pray. Abraham prayed. Noah prayed. Moses prayed. David prayed. Joseph prayed. Jesus prayed. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prayed. Master Fard Muhammad prays.
Bullshit. Who you pray to? We pray to someone else. We wasting time praying to him. Who you pray to? They don't tell you. Once you pray, they don't tell you who you pray to. What they can do for you. You know what I'm saying? Master Muhammad didn't pray to anyone. Elijah Muhammad never said such a thing. He never slept. He never catch him sleeping. Didn't pray to anyone. He's supreme. He's the God of the Spirit. I'm not going to say supreme being. That's he's God, because supreme beings are the Shabbat. He's the God of the Spirit of time. And Yaakov's people were the gods. Right? They were in charge. They were the rulers. Rulers are the gods. That time's over. That's why you hear him saying, we. It doesn't mean just one person. In the original nation, we raised up as gods. I'm gonna move on, bro. I don't want to get. Let's move on.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement. But his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Understand that, brothers and sisters? Understand that. He doesn't represent the Nation of Islam. He represents America. That's what he just said. Our nation. He represents America. He doesn't want anything happen to America. He loves America. He wants to stay here. He claims he represents the Nation of Islam. He lacks it here. Why? Was he a millionaire? He got all these followers that's putting food on his plate, putting him in mansions, made him a millionaire, multimillionaire, and his son standing next to him. He didn't want to have any business. They become multimillionaires. You know, they actually have, especially when they so-called Savior's Day, they have all the people who's with them. They give special gift to his son. For what? They're all about the Benjamins. So, we don't give us... Elijah Muhammad never did anything like that. In fact, you never had to pay for Savior's Day. You just came if you wanted to come. You had to pay a ticket to come. It was all free. It was all provided for you. They're all about the Benjamins. They're rich, but they haven't produced anything for the Nation of Islam. Just for themselves. That's why he wants to stay here, because he's done well here. He's got all these followers. He can hang around with the rich and famous. That's what he hang around with. Not you. Live in mansions, beautiful cars, expensive rings on his finger, expensive clothing. People kissing his ass. That might be a problem for him right now, because when you got a bunch of people heads up your ass, it's kind of hard to move around. That breaks some necks. Yeah, so that's him. It's no argument about that. But I just said it's absolute truth, and I keep $5,000. You can show anything I said is untrue. Anything I said is untrue. See how he loves America? Elijah Muhammad said we'd be fools to stay here. So is he calling Elijah Muhammad a fool? Master Muhammad says this place cannot be transformed. reformed rather. They cannot be reformed. They're 100% wicked. They must be removed from the planet. He said he don't want that to happen. Yet he claims he's in submission to Master Muhammad. Then again, right, there's another God above Master Muhammad that nobody knows about. Him. So, brothers and sisters, show you something else here. Now, here's more evidence. That's his father there. You see the resemblance? It looks just like. Yeah, same here. He's got it slicked down. He dies it. That's probably, well, I'm not going to go into that. That's his father there. His father's the devil. We got him on tape saying that his father's Caucasian, Portuguese, white, Caucasian Jew. Just Google. Farrakhan says his father may be a Jew. You Google it. And you get the interview comes up. He admits that. Well, biology tells you that you are their father is, because your father gets the seed, the sperm is the seed. That makes him a devil too. I mean, look at him. That's his daddy. You have any problem with the resemblance there? That's his daddy. So he's not seed of Abraham. He's not one of us. He's not one of me. I don't know who you are. He's not seed of Abraham. He's seed of a devil. That's what says son of perdition would be. He was after the works of Satan. So how can you get around that? He doesn't do anything. And he's definitely not representing Elijah Muhammad's teaching, because he just told you a few minutes ago Elijah was all wrong. God is not a man. He said, we got to worship an originator. It's not flesh. And we ain't going nowhere. That's the covenant. That is the covenant. That's what all the covenant's about. That's why we went through that. Sacrifice. Come on, brothers and sisters. So now, let's see. We know how you think about Massa. Let's say to him, hey, what do you think about the field niggas? You. The Muslims. You know how you feel about Massa. Let's see how I feel about you.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother Minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother Minister.
Wake us up, dear Papa.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Let the worms eat their ass. And that's not at all. That's not all. Let the worms eat their ass. Not like that, but he pray Allah. He pray Allah. And he didn't say you did anything to him. He didn't say you beat him up, you stole from him, or lied to him. No. He's talking about you ain't doing this thing for him no more. You ain't doing enough for him. See? That's what he's saying. You're not doing enough for him now. You're not putting enough food on his plate, enough rings on his finger, enough expensive clothes on his back, enough mansion to live in. That's what he's saying. And that's what you think about you. You're the one that's doing that. But for Massa, who's been tormenting, terrorizing, raping, butt breaking, poisoning, pissing out people's minds, using their children for gay debate and so forth for hundreds of years. Oh, he got nothing but love for them. Love and compassion, forgiveness. He didn't even mention forgiveness, really. What he got forgiven for, they Something wrong with them. Something wrong with us. You, anger, man, hostility, and you done nothing to them. You been just giving them stuff. You the one made them a multimillionaire. You don't lift them up, put them in those mansions. But see, I think about you, you pray a lot. Worms eat your ass because you ain't getting enough. But the ones been doing all this stuff to our people, you get nothing but love, compassion, and mercy for them. Think about it. Pray aloud, the worms eat your ass. Pray aloud. Good thing the lie praying to don't exist. Right? Some mystery God that 72 trillion years dead. Sad. It's more, brothers and sisters.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Yes, brothers and sisters. It's been out forever. No one's taken up that challenge, and they're well aware of it. So we're going to explain that also in a minute. Again, brothers and sisters, Imam Rahim here. This is the covenant, break up 7 seals. Okay, I'm going to get my main subject, brothers and sisters. Time. See, this is the greatest time in history. It is. It's comparable, but it's different to the first beginning. You have two phases. You have the expansion phase and the contraction phase. Expansion phase, when the universe, as the Quran says, heaven and earth was one. In other words, all that out there used to be here, used to be the atmosphere of the earth. All these stars, all that stuff, the energy from it, they were just energy That's that the energy now. There's a different form of energy. That was the atmosphere of the earth. So the being was only one being here. One being. Originator. One being. Alone. Nobody knows how long that being was there alone. Before they exploded, they called so-called, that was called so-called Big Bang. Because it wasn't any sun and moon around that we used to tell time with, that we relate time to. Well, it could have been a year, could have been a million years, but I don't know. No idea. It was alone. It was in total bliss. He wasn't feeling any pain. I don't want to say he. That being felt no pain. It was in total bliss. Total concept, every atom in the universe. Try to explain that, right? We gave you a picture of what you can expect that being would look like. But the being was by the being itself. As the universe expands, the being starts changing form. So whether you understand it or not, brothers and sisters, you see all life out here, the trees, bees, the birds, the insects, everything else, all that together is that being. It's spread out now. All life came from that being or is that being. All of it together. When you put it all together, lies hue comprehends all vision, but vision comprehends not. All vision. It didn't say just men vision. Animals have vision too, don't they? See, we don't think these things through. So in other words, all vision is his vision, his vision. But one of them can't see the whole thing. One individual cannot see the whole thing. So you want to see the original God, right? Say the tribe Shabbat, well, that's the brain cells. Put it that away. But anyway, that's the being. But eventually the being will come back together. One. That's why the Quran says, we give you your backs. Why would it say something like that? We give you your backs. I know I'm getting this. I'm getting straight here, brothers and sisters. Okay. If my body, well, my body is made of billions of cells, right? Each cell is a cell. So each one of those cells became independent. See? That means now they had their own backs. See, right now, they don't have backs because they're all connected together. That's why it says, we're giving you backs. So in other words, they separate, they're walking around everything else. It's still one body, it's just, that's the form of it. They have backs now. They still respond to the brain. It's still, like, it might look as a government, right? It's still one body, though. You got the brain cells, foot cells, some do transportation, some do engineering, some do whatever. It's like right now. We got all our cells do different things. Lung cells process the air, oxygen. Blood cells process, right? And the heart, process the blood. So what if they was out doing the same thing? No, that might be too complicated to understand, but that's the way it is. So when you look at that whole creation, that's the form the God's in right now. That's why it says, see those little things you don't pay attention to. It says, we gave you a back. So what do you have if you gave you a back? He said he gave you a creation. So if you didn't have a back, then how'd you survive without a back? So if you're a cell, cells don't have back. They're all connected. You have to become independent. Then it has a form of its own. It has a back. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. I don't want to get too far. It says, this is the greatest time in history. Okay. This is the form that God takes. So this one is going to bring the creation, start pulling the creation back. It's our job to bring the creation back. Right? Because first God expanded it. And we're drawing it back. Universally. Maker, owner, creator, planet Earth, God, universe. Greatest time in history. See, we remember that first God. We remember his name, Allah. The name he gave himself. And billion years from now, people that had part of this process, their names remembered in a book. Their names remembered. Not only that, but see, I can't get people to understand that the Bible talks about, and the crown, about crowns. Put that away. Because now we like this, right? Okay, so if we got a heart cells, then you're going to need a heart guard, right? To administer the heart cells. Okay? They can't just all act all independent because then you got chaos. So that directs his elite. He's not controlling them to give information, ministering. And Thomas can manage controlling the whole affair. Well, I'm not saying control. I wouldn't like to use the word control. Right? He's administrating the whole affair. Then you got the lung cells, but there got to be someone, right? A chief person, right? Take and coordinate what the lung cells do, so everybody work. Everybody's a Hodge. So in other words, what you got independent Hodge and you got general Hodge. So you got Hodge of the body. I mean, heart cells have Hodge. They all work together. It's a different than a lung cell, but all together, the different Hodges work together as a body. You know these things, if you just take it, you see. But the point is, that's where it is. So therefore, there's going to be the brain cell that's going to coordinate all the brain cells. That's what a lot of I'm talking about, the 24 scientists. One scientist administers, is the chief scientist. So you got a chief, put it like this, you got a chief heart cell, got a chief lung cell, chief liver cell, and all these different things, chief foot cell. That gets information from other cells, so say, okay, we need to pump more blood. We got to run. Whatever. Those people come forward, they have their position forever. Through their own seed. So they tell you your position will be forever. That's why I told Melchizedek, your position is forever. You don't understand that. But in order to do that, you have to take your energy and show that you can inspire those heart cells, and then you're the leader. And just sometimes, oh, you're just a leader. No. You got to show that you can inspire the rest of them, and so they respond to you. So now you lead heart cell. You're the God. All of them are gods. We're elevated. Well, not everybody's elevated to gods now. We are. It didn't say that the Arabs are related to gods. They're still angels. When the Holocaust be elevated to gods, they're still be angels. Okay. Elevated to gods. So you need the chief God that the brain cell coordinates all the rest of the body, eye cells. You're gonna have all that. Like I said, one body. Once you get that position is yours. Your bloodline. As long as this body maintains its structure. That's the promise. That's why I tell Melchizedek, right? He's a priest forever. Because he did the work, he made the sacrifice, he motivated the body. He got the body alive again. Understand? So therefore, he's the brain cell that brought the body together. I'm going to bring the body together. It tells you the Ancient of Days did and gave it to Muhammad and let him on his authority for the next 6,000 years. That's what it tells you. I don't care what these clowns say. That's what scriptures say. Elijah Muhammad spoke to that in different ways. He's everlasting leader of the Nation of Islam. There's no crap like that. That's stuff they made up. None of Elijah Muhammad said, he never said anything like that either. Trying to lead the Nation of Islam. It's pathetic. He never said anything like that. So you have to take, he got the body started, so he, like, it's actions. You can't just, oh, I'm the one. No. His works. Said nobody works. He got the body alive. He brought the body back. Says, who brought it alive? Son of Man did. Son of Man, priest of four winds. He brought the body back alive. So now he's a chief priest. And says he's a forever. Then you got other people, like I said, right? The chief heart cell, the chief lung cell, chief liver cell, so forth. But they have to get that lung cell moving. Get the cells level. You got to be able to motivate those lung cells. That's how you know it's the one. Not because he's your uncle, your brother, your friend. No, it work that way. I don't know if you. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, we're in the sixth seal now, brothers and sisters. This is a day. It says the day of the Lord. Devil's wrath. This is the time. We're in it now. They're in division. They're trying to figure out what to do. Everybody, the whole world is looking at this incident. I mean, all over the internet. The whole world has got the eyes on what's going on right now in the Middle East. Now, Europe. That's Farrakhan said, Armageddon. No, where's Armageddon, Farrakhan? I told you, said you're wrong. It's the Middle East. There are like folks in the Middle East. And now they're going around trying to figure out, they're in division, trying to figure out, what am I going to do? But if you understand the Injil, you understand mathematics, you understand pressure, you know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're going to do, but you know what they're going to do. Because they're exposed to pressure that they cannot resist. If you're exposed to pressure you cannot resist, you know what's going to happen. It's going to get crushed. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no such thing as miracles and accidents. If your pressure is greater than the structure will collapse. Period. And so we know that's what's going to happen. Now we know there's two aspects of it, internal and external. Either way, it still collapses. It collapses from within or from without. That's why I say the sword is within and sword without. See, they say these things. They say the sword be within and without. Go check it out. Take Google, don't take my word for it. So it's then, so that. It means they got it. I told you, you got a problem. You got internally, America's blowing up. Trump's in big trouble internally by this Epstein stuff. He's in trouble out there in the Middle East. Or Israel. If there's Israel behind both of them. I don't care what side they get crushed, what side they hit the ground. No matter what side they hit the ground, hit the tip or the side, it's still going to be crashed. So are you going? We're going. Wait a minute. I think I'm going to hit the side. It's going to be crushed with the ground. But we know the scripture tells us exactly the quality of it. We're told that, and I can say these things now because we're here. They want to change it, fine, go ahead and change it. It's not going to change the fact to be crushed. Because the red's not going to wait like Solomon said. They're going to do a preemptive attack. They're going to attack first. It says right there, Michael's angels, what broke out in heaven, Michael's angels fought and dragging them. So that means they actually, it's after the pause. Anyway, that's going to happen. Any day now, any minute now. We're in it. We're in the sixth seal. The silence over. And people are telling you, if you pay attention, they're telling you that we're at war now. Because they say, well, no, it's no pause now. The pause is over. They attacked right on time. They attacked when they sent their undercover people in and started rising and everything. And it was that was the way they was going to do it. Hit, throw up a punch. And when that punch, they was going to come in with another one. With the Air Force and everything. The Air Force on the way. But man was at the block and recovering the punches. Hey, whoa. We got a bigger crunch. What's going on right now? You don't really negotiate. They was negotiating before June 25th when they negotiated this sneak attack. Anyway, that's it. My personal opinion is they ain't gonna make it a Savior's Day. I don't think they have control of Savior's Day. I could be wrong. I don't think they will. In case that be the last, but I don't think they will. But we'll see. I don't think they're gonna make it past next week or so. Anyway, that's where we're at. So half an hour, but it's right what time? It says about half an hour. It's about 5 or 7 months, so a little more than 6 or a little less. And exactly, it's 7 months later, the war started again because they weren't talking about the war. For more 6, 7 months, they weren't talking about it. And all of a sudden, boom, they went in, started to rise and started killing people over there and starving, all that stuff, right? Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. So where we are right now. So you think if it was like that, you understood that. Okay? You're in a theater. You see a fire. You're going to say, hey, there's a fire. Unless you worry about it get burned up. Man, you're going to, plus nobody's going to pay attention. He said, my love, fire. He whispered, man, he must be joking. Because nobody going, if there's a real fire, man, he's going to be animated. He's going to say, hey, man, there's a fire. Hey, man, free on the fire. Hurry up, get the hell out of here. You say, wait, man, I'm going to the bathroom. I come back and check and see if it lets you know it's a fire. It's a fire. Yeah, I got to the bathroom back in a minute. There's no how it's doing. You know, that's not the way things work. So, if you understand the time, if you understand you're in sync with the time, then you should represent the time, shouldn't you? So how you act shows you what you're really representing. That you're not representing this time. You see, Son of Man, he's on the case every day. And you know, you say he'd be in his 70s or 80s. He's on the case every day. Not just saying, hey, it's bad time, man, taking off. Working, because it's a mental war. So he's working to get his ammunition right. Make sure he aim right? Make sure he put ammunition, aim right, check everything right, scope right, and everything else. See? So when he shoot, he hits his target. He's not just throwing a rock, boom, throw something. I'm going to go back and get something to eat. No, taking his time, focusing. See? Because I said, wavelength trends and the frequency, you get it right. The right frequency, because like when you break that glass, that frequency has to be just right. If it's off right, it ain't going to happen. Because remember, you got resonance, right? You got reaction time. All it has to be right on the month for you to do something like that, to break glass with your voice. You have to be out there and make sure it's right. Oh, let me throw a rock. Maybe I hit something. They got a saying, you know, I had my IT business, throw shit against the wall, maybe some of the stick. Is that the way it works? Do yourself a favor, brothers and sisters. See, we've been listening to talk for 40 years. Stop paying attention to talk. Stop paying attention to actions. So all you got is years. You're listening to shit. Pay attention to your eyes. If your eyes and ears don't in sync, what you see is not consistent. What you hear, you know something's wrong. Right? Sometimes what you hear, it could be optical illusion, but you see, so you gotta be careful with that. But if you see reality, you hear something else, there's something wrong. I'm going to talk about a few things, brothers and sisters. Okay. Now, like I said, this war. Let me explain. First of all, brothers and sisters, if I were you, you had people telling these things. If I was you, if you listen to this, and I tell my friends, you can't, it's a win-win situation. Go and get at least, especially if you got family and children, right, at least a month's supply of food that you don't have to cook. And water. You don't have to cook. At least a month. I do it immediately. I wouldn't wait till tomorrow. I do it immediately. You can't lose because if nothing happens, you still got the food, you can eat it. It's win-win. But if something does happen, and then you don't have it, and you're going to try to run to Walmart, usually that ain't going to work. Because everybody going to be there, and you be fighting your way in and fighting your way out. And even if you win inside and bring the food out, they're going to blow your head off and take that from you. And you'll be on the menu. And if you think I'm joking, people should be telling yourself. You need to be doing it immediately right now. If you can just run right and do it, I would do it immediately. You can't, it's a win-win situation. Food you can't cook. You don't have to cook. Especially if you got children. Keep your gas tank full. If you can, you know, 7-Eleven had those gas containers you can put gas in. A couple of those, I'd be careful, I don't want you to blow your car up. That's what I would do. I would do that immediately. It's a win-win situation. If nothing happens, then you got extra gas saved up, and you got food. So it's not a loss. But it's being safe. See, never made this. I have trodden the winepress alone. They're talking about Son of Man. And the people there was none with me. See, he was alone. In this time, why should he be alone? I would tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. So he come and save nobody. He come to kick ass. I shall tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. I will stain my garments. I mean, my garments will be full of blood, their blood. I'm coming to kick ass. I ain't coming to fuck around. See? And for the day of vengeance is mine in my heart. Day of vengeance. Here's the perfect time. Oh man, that's some stupid movies. There's someone with something. Love is not the answer. Love conquer hate. Really? See, they tell us that shit and we believe it. Tell me something how love has conquered hate. You tell me when they play, you see somebody, I love it, and they don't drop a bomb in their ass. Tell me where love has conquered hate. They tell you that because they want you to love them no matter what they do to you. That's what Christianity was telling you. No matter what they do to you, be nice to them anyway. That's sort of the purpose. That got you here. But that was for a season. It's been Adam. But their vengeance is my vengeance. Consequence. That's what vengeance is, consequence. So why somebody did something to you? So now you're repaying, right? But their vengeance is mine, and the year of my redeem is come. This is the year, right now. This is it. We're in it. See? He's waiting for it. I looked, there was none to help. So wait a minute. I wanted as there was none to uphold. That my right own arm was salvation to me, and my fury, it upheld me. So I was had to do it myself. I do it myself. Why is that? What's right there? I would tread down the people in my anger, make them drunk in my fury. That's what's confusion and everything else. I would bring down this strength to the earth. You understand? The angel keep talking about the Europeans. Now, how does that sound? Sound like fire coming in heaven? It's not like that's the God he's worshiping? No. And whoever this is, he's alone. Nobody help. Why? When you go further, you start seeing other things. Let's move on. You got to be able to add, subtract, and be able to connect the dots. You see, he spake about this proverb. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard. He came and saw the fruit thereof. So he been investing in it and found none. So better hold it. I'm investing to get nothing back. Then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, oh, these 3 trees, these 3 years, keep that in mind, 3 years, I've come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and there's none. Let me say it by itself. This tree wasn't doing anything. So, and he said, cut it down. Why comes it into the ground? You know, why haven't it taken me a space? That's what he said. Why it comes in the ground? That's why you not take up space there? I just cut it down. He answered to him, said, Lord, let it alone this year also, 4th year. So I dig around it and dung it. So the third after 3 years, at 4th year, he said, put some manure on it. See that move them. And if it bear fruit, well, if not, then after that, cut it down. Cut it down. Another place said throw in the fire. Now, is that a coincidence? Why did he say 3 years and a 4th? Why did I say that? It says he was best in his tree, right? But the tree gave nothing back. I teach for mathematics, but you know, I tell you 2 plus 3 is 5. Right? 4 plus 7 is 11. And 1 plus 6 is 7. But then I say, how much is 6 plus 1? You see kids do that, right? 3 plus 5 is 8. How much is 5 plus 3? Because they remember, they don't understand the process. So he said, investing in it. He tell everybody, everything is energy. So right now, I'm transmitting energy. I'm transmitting energy. So I'm transmitting energy on a certain wavelength, certain frequency. So I transfer it, and so you get that energy. You get energy, what you going to do with it? You take energy, you do anything with it? You hold on to it? Remember, everything's energy. So you don't look at it that point of view, you look at it as money. Well, money is energy too. But it's a form of energy that they control. They put it in that, they tell you that they control it. I don't want to get too deep into that. But the point is that I give you $10,000. Instead, you taking and investing that $10,000. It's like, you know, a tree, a trunk, and then it had a branch. That branch produces more branches, and that branch produces more branches. So the tree gets bigger and bigger and growing. But you produce this branch refuses to put other branches, but you keep giving it information to put other branches. What's going on there? So you give it the $10,000, you invest in it, and you get nothing in return. But it doesn't invest it. So it's holding on to that. You keep giving it. So now they're producing negative energy, but they're getting something. So if somebody give me $1 million, I'm not going to $1 million because I understand how math works. Everybody gets the same amount of money. That's okay. That's the same amount of energy, brother. That's okay. You're going to say, okay, I spread it out. But make sure I know I don't want to hold that because I'll create $1 million worth of negative energy for myself. I'm not going to. People that know me know I don't hold on to money and stuff. I don't, because I know, but I'm a dollar store man. You go to the dollar store. I'm a dollar store man. The cheapest person you ever seen in your life. Right? You got nice cars, yeah, because I used to get cheap cars and they never work. Right? So okay, anyway, that's no story. But the bottom line is that you give it, so I give it, okay. And so I'm investing, I'm taking 10 investment. See, the quality of it is that if you look at the quality, I give you $1 million, that means you owe me $1 million. So you give me something back in return. But if you give me nothing back in return, you understand? Just hold on to it. Right? Then you give me so much control over yourself. If I don't take it, now you stand there with $10 million worth of bad luck. You get more and you build more. And I keep giving, keep building more. You don't do anything with it. Like that Pharaoh guy, he kept putting money in his pocket. Instead of investing, like we gave Elijah Muhammad, but he invested. They put it in his pocket. That's what it's talking about here. So it's the bad thing about it from my point of view, I gave it, I'm getting nothing back. From your point of view, you're building negative energy. I'm not building negative energy for myself by doing that. I'm just not getting any. I'm not getting the quality back. If I'm investing in you, that means I want that particular quality. I'm investing in you, right? I plant the seed, I want that quality. Still energy, but I said I want to plant orange, I want orange quality. I planted apple, I want apple quality. So I invest in you, I want a certain quality. And our quality right now for the angel is our people. So we're trying to bring this body together. So I'm investing in you, so you can bring the arms, you can bring the legs. Remember a branch on a tree? You can bring. You can bring anything. You say cut it down. And from your side, all kinds of bad things happen to you. See? And you don't understand why. Because you ain't doing anything with the energy. You didn't do anything with it. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. We're going to more deeper, a little deeper in a minute. Okay? Just cut it down. After 4 years. After 4 years, just cut it down. Somebody said, it went a little further. It took us a year. Well, why say it'll take a time? See, go to my right now. I keep telling people, well, let me move on, brothers and sisters. It ain't about family, about friends. It's about mathematics. See, and this, when he does get his ministers and angels, the real ones, says he's going to make up angel spirits and ministers a flaming fire. So they're going to be fired up. They're going to be fired up. They're going to represent the message. Angels, powerful weapons, more powerful atomic bomb. And so they be acting like that. Because if I'm sitting around here saying, okay, this is a time I'm present trouble and all this, and I'm sitting around here, man, eating popcorn and, hey, man, I come once a week and say a little something around and, joking. You're not going to take that serious. I'm out here every day giving information, studying, putting more information in, right? And putting more, what's the word I'm going to use? Anyway, put more energy into it. That shows, that tells you it's serious. So I'm serious. I'm right here, my Facebook, something, you see me a couple of weeks later, throw somebody here, ask for money or something. No, you see, doing this constantly, you see, that means, must be serious about what he's talking about. I'm telling you, your life is, if your children's life is in danger, okay, well, I'm going to check it out after I get back from church. Let me after I take a nap. Really? No. If your child, you ain't taking on that, you ain't going to place, you'll be focused on that 100%. So you can tell how dedicated someone is, how much energy they give to it. And everybody knows I'm giving 100% to this. I told my wife the other day, it says that's at 4 o'clock in the morning, and she know I'm doing because I'm 77 years old. That's why I like doing all that, man. But if I don't do it, I can't stay in shape. And I'm in a wheelchair and I can't get the message across. I'm going to get this message across. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let's be here. 2 different wavelengths and frequencies. 2 different wavelength frequencies. Now let me explain that. Let me show you something. See here? One's a wavelength for a winter. One wavelength for spring. Now we've been on a wavelength for winter for the last 400 and 500 years. Why 500 years? Because you read in Genesis, 6,000 years, each one of those years is broken 2 parts. 500 years apiece. If you look at the last one, this last 500 years, that's when it says, let's make man our likeness and image. That's what's happening right now in this 500 years. So you can go and look at that if you want to. These clowns, they have no idea what that's all about. They can try and just add, that's not Adam. Don't even use his name there. Anyway, but see here, so when you're in winter, that wavelength is the successful one. The one on the left. Still Bible. That was the wavelength. It was successful because that was the wavelength for the winter. Low frequency, low energy. You understand? That was a wavelength for the winter. But the wavelength for the spring is a different wavelength, a stronger wavelength, more energetic wavelength frequency. Greater frequency, greater wavelength. Right? That's the way, that's unsealed Bible. Different wavelength. And so what happens is that the scripture, they write the scriptures. See, I've been taught a lot of wavelength freaks later. I never really taught that much because over the years, I couldn't get you to understand and subtraction. I'm taught about multiplication. If you go study science, everything has, or energy is based on motion, and motion is wavelength or frequency. So the bottom line of energy is wavelength frequency. All atoms, everything have a wavelength frequency. Light, everything is wave. Your bodies, your brains, is what brain waves, like wavelength frequency. Because everything is energy. Matter is energy, it's a form of energy. It has a wavelength and a frequency. If you get down to the bottom line, that's what energy is. Motion, and motion is wavelength frequency, period. Okay? But the frequency and wavelength changes and the universe contracts or expands. So the universe was expanding, the frequency on the earth wavelength got weaker and weaker and weaker because there was less energy here. Until it got so weak, we was down, we could barely think at all. We could barely think at all. We weren't even allowed to think. We had no control of anything. See? But Adam, he was built in such a way, and I'm going into details, where he could maintain a higher frequency wavelength than we could. The simplest way to look at that is, if one's a Lamborghini and one's a Volkswagen Beetle, the Lamborghini needs more energy than the Volkswagen Beetle. So if both get the same amount of money, then the Lamborghini may be parked in the garage because they don't have enough money to keep it, there's a lot to maintain it, drive around, more expensive gas, more insurance and everything else. So you may not have enough money to do all that. So you have to park in the garage with a Volkswagen Beetle all around town and everything else. So we made there was a Volkswagen Beetle where they could maintain a level of frequency and wavelength that could maintain a civilization. It would be a good one, but it would be still civilization. Because anything lower than that was jungle, was a free fall. That's why it was put there, because he could maintain a civilization. It wouldn't be a good one, make him shed blood, but he'd still have a civilization better than it would have been if we hadn't made him. It would have been a free fall. No government, anything, just everybody just, you understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, so in the wintertime, winter is low frequency wavelength because it's cold, there's less energy. That's another way of looking at it. Spring, more energy. Like start blooming, everything, because more energy now. So we was under the winter. We was under lower wavelength frequency because we was under Adam. It's lower than that. So he was under control of us. See, but Adam, because he's a Volkswagen Beetle, he can't get any higher than a Volkswagen Beetle. He can't get to the Lamborghini standards. Get my money, but he can't, right? He can go lower, operate on lower frequency wavelength. The Volkswagen Beetle operate on lower level, but it can't go to higher level, higher than itself. He can't get to the level of Lamborghini. But Lamborghini, you can get low down to, you can go as low as a Volkswagen Beetle operate. You can take accessories off, take the power windows out, all that kind of stuff, right? So now it may look like a Lamborghini, but it's operating like a Volkswagen Beetle. But now you can start putting those things back on, then it's better than I'm trying to make it simple for you, brothers and sisters. So this is, but now when you go into, that means the frequency and wavelength start shifting as you move into spring. But if only wavelength frequency you can handle is one of them, then you can't make it to spring. If you make it to spring, you're a snowman. When spring comes, you're going to melt. You have no power. Your power diminishes the closer it gets to spring. When spring hits, now another thing, what's the difference between spring and summer? Why is the calendar says 1 day? So 1 day is spring, and the next day. So the spring, one day is winter, and the next day spring. So the spring dies 1 day, and in the spring, winter dies 1 day, and spring rises out of that death the next day. That's why it says Babylon be destroyed in a day, and we rise in a day. That's another reason. That's another way of looking at it. I said all this stuff is simple when you get into it. So, okay, so here you go, right here. So the angel, see the sealed Bible operate on that frequency and what frequency? Frequency is day level. That's why they was given that. That's sealed Bible. The way the sealed Bible is, right? So you're successful because that's the wavelength frequency. You had to be successful in the winter. So they gave that scripture. You follow the scripture, you're successful because that's the wavelength frequency. That's the way of thinking that you need. Because who was successful? The devils. So Christians, not the Sunnis. They were successful during that period. No one was successful, not the Hindus, not the Buddhists. One was successful in that period was the Europeans. Because that's the way of frequency they was operating on. You understand? But now, spring comes to need a scripture that's for that frequency and wavelength. That's angel. Okay. So let's look at something else here. Here. Now you start moving spring, this becomes static. Why? Because this can't survive here. But it's trying to. It's trying to stay alive. But this capitalism, democracy stuff won't survive here. It's like when they came in, but the system they had before, those systems failed. Now it's confused. It's static. So, but they're trying to make it sense like it was before. They're trying to get back to this. It was clear. But now spring's coming in terms of static. That's why you see them saying all this stuff. It's not stuff they don't make any sense over there. They're saying stuff because they fight the static. Because now they're confused. They're trying to make sense of it. They can't. Because they can't move to the next level. And high frequency is like higher pressure. It's crushing lower pressure. So it's crushing their frequency. They're trying to maintain that wavelength. They can't. They're trying to maintain. They can't. Because they got another higher frequency wavelength. It's crushing it. That's what they're doing over there. That's why Farrakhan is saying stuff he's saying. See? They're trying to maintain that frequency. They're trying to maintain the winter. They're trying to maintain that thought process. But it's not confusing. And so now, before it was originated, now it's mass plumbing. It's one thing after another. Keep changing because they're trying to maintain those ideas of the sealed Bible and the Quran, and it's not making sense. It's not working. And they're not successful. But this is the main point here. See, it says, there was a lot of science. It says that the Son of Man would have three. There's no other thing. See, I didn't say that. A lot of things I didn't say. Because first of all, a lot of things I could say, I do here 24, I can't do 24/7. So the thing is that he said he don't want no followers. Well, he don't want any followers. But he just had three companions. He only had three. So if he showed up, that's an insight right there If he shows up, he won't have a whole bunch of people around him. Only have three males. We talk to females, be three males. Meshach, and Abednego. And of course, their families, if they have it. They had three. It'll always be three. And so that's a sign to them because when he shows up, it's always remains three. One leave, another one up right behind it. Oh, stay three. That's a sign to them. But they give them signs so they could wake up, and because they're the ones that was chosen, they're the leaders. And they was giving them so they could arise, step up to the level where they would be the leader of the heart cells or lung cells, whatever category they fall in. Like Melchizedek, right? That possible was open for him. The only way he can get it, he had to break the seal. Just because it's opportunity. They was given opportunity, just like Suleiman was given opportunity. So here's the opportunity. You get that book, and that's your reward. Says you'll be a priest forever. You do this, and you're your reward. Now, you're the king of the heart cells. You're the queen or whatever. That's opportunity. But you got to rise to it. There was a question whether the Levites would do it or not. Apparently, they didn't. They couldn't. So that's why I said tree. That's why we didn't plant a tree if you didn't think of doing anything. That was opportunity. You plant a seed, plant a tree, that's opportunity. Now you're going to grow? It's opportunity. So the sign of them, it's always true. Well, he ain't got a lot of followers. Well, and they weren't followers, and those three wasn't followers, they were companions. So that's all they had around them. To the time of when the war breaks, and then all of a sudden, right, see the great army. But until then, it's just three. Is that a coincidence? And the question was, will they step up and take the opportunity now? Well, they haven't. Now, this is a little insight here, brothers and sisters. That's why I tell you, have faith. I had to have faith because I got into it. I didn't know what I was getting into. I know I have to give everything to do this. So I'm trying to explain it the simplest way possible. See, when you're over here, leave it this way. You're over here on the left. That's the way. Remember, those love this world's life. That's what it's here like that. That means if you love this world's life, that means you're in the same frequency wave of this world's life. Now, if you clean the earth, because that means you can move to a higher frequency, but you want to stay on this one. See, if you cling to those are the people that can move to a higher wave of frequency, but they cling to this one. Then you got those that just love this world's life. That's the only that's the only frequency they can be on. That's the devil's Adam. That's his frequency. He can't go above that. That's his natural frequency wavelength. So the situation here is that you're successful if you operate on the same wavelength frequency as the winter, during the winter. But as the spring starts coming, your success starts fading. It gets static. See, things ain't working out quite that well anymore. See, things not happening right. It's static. You're losing power. Right? Because you're thinking, what you think is out of sync with the times. Therefore, if you're thinking, like I said, if you vested wrong, you'll get bad result, right? So if you're thinking wrong, you're thinking out of tune with the reality, then you're not going to be successful. Your thoughts are going to get you in trouble. Your thoughts get you in trouble rather than helping you. Because you're out of sync with the reality. So spring coming in, that means you got to change your way. But they can't do it. The devils cannot change. I would say 100% wicked, and they cannot obey the law of Islam. Means they can't, in other words, telling you they can't switch, they can't change frequencies. They can't. It's stuck. So they can't stuck in the winter. So this is the point to have faith in, because I can go a lot of detail to explain my situation, The point is that you start moving, that means you start switching wavelength. But that's what the angel tells you. That's what you have to learn. That's moving to the next wavelength frequency. If you stick with a seal Bible, you're going to have that frequency wavelength. So your success is going to be failing and failing and failing. But you start doing that, and all of a sudden, the things that you had, remember the reality, your reality, your Christian, put it like that, your Christian reality, still Bible reality, right? It starts failing because your wavelength is changing. Your frequency is changing. So it starts failing. But what happens? The spring wave frequency start happening. So you're transitioning from one to the other. So a new world is coming in because now you bring a new world in, a new reality, because you're in sync with it. But you know how to face, so you keep holding that old one. So therefore now you're not moving. Nothing that work for you, because you can see you have that faith because you don't know what that new one's like. That's how you be transformed in the middle of a twinkle of an eye. But you don't know. Say, oh, I better hold on to this. That's the ones that hold on to this world life. That some of them are doing it because they love this world's life. So I'm going to hold. I'm going to cleave the earth. And some of them, out of fear, don't switch. Don't upgrade their frequency wavelength. If they can, they don't. So therefore, bad things keep happening to them. They can make mistakes, do things. They make mistakes. Bad things happen. Make bad decisions because those not working anymore. Because now you move to spring. You have to be on the spring frequency and wavelength. I understood that right away. I understand wavelength frequency. And then when I first figured this out, I just look at it like winter and spring. I said, "My God," I says, everything I got is winter stuff. I said, I gotta let that go to get spring stuff. I was living in a mini mansion and all these things. That demon wife, she's part of the winter. When I got the Injil, started moving to the spring thinking, all those things started going away. She went away, and that was good. But then I got spring wife. I didn't know that. It's problematic at first because you got a transition period. We worked it out, and now it's right on 100%. And actually, all kinds of things happen because as I do, all this winter stuff disappeared, but spring stuff started coming in. The more I started thinking, more I moved into spring reality started coming in better and better and better. So, in other words, I'm more in tune, some better things are working. You understand? Because now I'm more in tune with spring coming. I'm standing in tune with spring frequency wavelength. But they still thinking back there. So bad things happen to them. We tell them, hey, you got to get that angel. Angel is start thinking. You got to start getting that book. Because it's like lifting the weight. You just wait. Your arm gets sore. Some people say, man, I don't get sore. I ain't doing it anymore. Well, that sore means it's getting stronger. That's what soreness is. And so the same thing when you start thinking, you get confused. That means your brain is getting stronger. They say, oh, I'm getting confused. They stop. So they don't get stronger. I go to the gym. I'm doing better now. I'm sore as hell. But that means, I guess, I'm getting stronger. I know that. Some people take it wrong. So they see opposition, stop. They say, at first you don't see, they say, wisdom, sanity is doing sanity over and over again, expecting different result. If you stop so you see, get some resistance. They tell their children, at first you don't see, try and try again. That means, hey, resistance shows growth. And people have been told just the opposite. So I've had a lot of resistance. Resistance come, and it doesn't look bad. That's why the Quran says, you think you enter, without going through all this trouble? Because, they threw me in jail, all kinds of stuff, all this. But I knew When I saw these bad things happening, I knew I have resistance. And so once I overcame the resistance, I'm gonna gain something. I'm gaining something. That's why the resistance trying to stop gaining. No, when I saw many doing these things, I was gaining something. Let me say, let's start. I don't know how I should say this, because I can tell you a lot of stories. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to give some generalities. In this transition, right, I've had a lot of trouble with females. It's my fault. Because I was always concentrating on science stuff. I didn't concentrate. I wasn't out here trying to find the right female, that kind of stuff. Now that females get me. They came was nice though. Okay, that's fine. They talk nice and everything else. I mean, I started to learn. I got a scar, so I ain't that stupid no more. Right? But I was stupid. And yeah, I was, like I said, I think I wasn't a player. Grind up with chicks and so on. I wasn't doing all that. And a sister and one came in, they started talking to me, and it was nice, and boom, that was it. Right? And tell them a sob story, and then they got my voice too, because I hate the sisters feel bad. Just tell me a sob story, but ooh, I'm dead. I hate the sisters when they're in pain. They suffer. I hate that. I can't take that. And I had a couple give me some sob stories when they got me. Anyway, bottom line is because that demon wife, she did a job on me with that one. Anyway, the bottom line is, let me give you one instance. I had this one person, and she was actually, I was married to a woman from Morocco for a little bit. Her idea was, right, I was having problems with sisters, right, and Dad and Mom was going, so let me give me a Muslim. And I didn't see it like I see it now, right? So I married this woman. She was from Morocco. That's our half brothers, right? Sisters. But see, her idea, and that gets to another thing, I shouldn't get to that. I don't get to that right now. But let me say, yeah, I'm going to say it's them close brothers and sisters. I'm going to divert for a minute. Just Kanye and even Chappelle. I thought Chappelle, I didn't know that. But anyway, they were out there, and remember Michael and all these. They got these, and Kobe. They got these Mexican or Oriental or white. What's wrong with black women? As soon as you get some money in your pocket, see what happens, they marry prostitutes. What a prostitute is when it comes on to you, they want money. And they'll be nice to you. Everything else as long as you're paying them. What it is. And these fools don't know they're marrying prostitutes. Because these people, if I get their Hollywood, I know I'm white, man. I just be nice to one of these niggas. They're going to make me rich. I'm going to be hanging with Bishop, famous, and everything else. They don't give a damn about you. But when they get their money, they leave your ass. They're prostitutes. They don't love you. They gaming you. They're nice, they're real nice right there because I love that money coming in. Love that money. How many of them got that if they ain't got no money? Tell me, how many black folks you know out there that got that and don't have no money or anything? You don't find any because it don't happen. These prostitutes says, okay, I'm a prostitute. So, hey, well, I'm hanging on the corner here. They're one of these niggas, man. I'm waiting. I'm late. They're going to love me. Why didn't you pick Kobe? I found that, what's his name? James Brown had a white one. Because these niggas, and now I can hang around the rich and famous. Plenty of money and everything else. Kidding about these niggas? Maybe one of brown sisters. Anyway, so her game was that she's going to get pregnant. Like I said, I had my own business. I had plenty of money. I could do it now, but all my energy was getting this message out. So her game was that she was going to get pregnant, have a baby, right? And then she was going to accuse me of abuse, whatever, and get a divorce. And then she get alimony and child support. Then she's going to flee back to Morocco and she live like a queen because there's a lot of money back there. That was her idea. Now they catch on. I should have caught on, but like I said, I don't try to control women. I don't be watching see what they're doing. Because my mind was on the angel. My mind was on getting this information out. But see, I'm telling you, I'm going to show you some other things in a minute. But when you go in the right wavelength, or you got positive energy works for you. See? So you don't have to know exactly the positive energy, just that the mathematics of it protects you. So that was a plan. So I ended up getting a contract up in Indiana. So I had to move to Indiana. So that's where the child was born at. And then, for some reason, this hadn't happened before. Contract came to. They had to cut the contracts. I was working for the state. They had to cut the contracts or whatever. Anyway, they had to call the contracts. All the contractors suddenly didn't have. And I said that was sudden. It take me about a couple of weeks, maybe a month of time to get new contracts. I got to go in, do some research, and see if I want to do it and how much money is and all that kind of stuff, right? I said, oh man, I'm inspected. And I just got a new baby and all this stuff, right? And then, but then the guy came and says, I was working for an Indian company up there. They was the contract. They said, and I was the man. I was IT, inside and out. So they knew I was good. So they asked me would I go and run they were setting up a new site, right? They wanted me to go in and supervise it. It was out of the country, overseas, right? Around Japan, China, and that area. So I didn't have anything else at the time, and oh man, and the money was good, right? So like I said, there was a system on their systems. Some system there because they had got the state some kind of thing, and they needed me to run it for them. So I said, okay, I did it. So what next to me was this person, she was about to pull the trigger. She's about to go ahead and she's going to do whatever she's going to do, then have me arrested for abuse, then, all that. So she's going to pull. But this happened just before that, about 2 weeks before that. I didn't know it. I still didn't know what was going on. So I'm out there. And so she comes out about a month later. So I was out there all together 3 years, right? But she got out there and about a month, 2 months, right? And so she tried to get me to come back to the States. So why don't you go back and find a contract? Why don't you? I said, no, I'm finished. I told her, and I made an agreement with these people. I signed a contract, so I'm going to see it through. I think the contract was a 5-year contract. Mine was good. So she couldn't do that. So she went pull the trigger out there. Yeah. Pull the trigger out there. So pull the trigger. Next thing I know, I'm arrested for child abuse, all that kind of stuff. Not me for her abuse her. But I think she said child abuse too or something, whatever. I've been married so time, nobody's ever accused me. Well, my dear wife, she made that up too. But anyway, it's another story. So because I don't hit women. I said my wife now I threw a plastic cup at her one time. It was empty, water bottle, but plastic went out. She caught me off guard. But it was empty. It didn't hurt her. But I got mad. I was upset because I even did it. Because I don't do that. Right? She got me. Boy, she caught me off guard with that. Before I knew it, I didn't do it. Bam. Right? But it couldn't have killed the roach. It was just empty. Right? Anyway, that's the worst I've ever done. Anyway. So I'm going, I get thrown in jail, and I got to go to trial and all this stuff. Make a long story short, there's a whole lot of detail, but I beat it. I beat it all. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a lawyer, nothing. But one thing I did before I went out there, I had made an agreement with this company. No matter what, they'll pay my fee to come back home, no matter what. Because they abandoned me after I got in trouble. So I was out, no money, no lawyer, nothing, no job, anything. And 4 hours after it. Anyway, I beat them. That story, that all by itself, right? But the bottom line is, right, I beat it, and the lawyer, they gave me temporary lawyer, whatever they call it, right? So he told me, he says, I know you ain't afraid of these people. It's a long story. You need to get off the island. So I went backstage. So because I was on that particular island, and now it's connected, it's not a state of the United States, it's a province or something, right? So they administer laws of the United States, but they're not subject. Their laws can apply, whether the bottom line is. So to make a long story short, we get back, start getting letters saying, oh, 10,000, 20,000 for child support, alimony, all that stuff, right? But they couldn't enforce it in the United States. They couldn't enforce it. So she ended up having to go back to Morocco with nothing. With nothing. They couldn't touch me because that particular island I went to was the only way I could have been on the planet Earth that they couldn't touch me. See, the point I'm trying to make here is, I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know what she was doing. But that positive energy I had was protecting me. No God, no Jesus, positive energy. So the thing is, I mean, that contract come to an end when it did, just before she was going to pull the trigger. Now, leaving out this another place, right? And she come out there trying to know, right? And so forth and so on. And so she had to pull the trigger there, because she couldn't wait 5 years, so, go there. And so she got everything she wanted. She got everything else, but they can't afford. But it's not a good thing that the lawyer, because the lawyer told me, you need to get off, get back, get out of here, because you're going to a lot of trouble. But he didn't tell me because of the alimony and stuff. He just told me, man, they're going to come after you. Right? So by me going and leaving, if I hadn't left when I left, right, they would have enforced it, and they wouldn't have let me leave the island. So when I left, by me leaving, I got here just in time before they was able to get their hands on me. Plus the company that they had to pay me to get home. At this time, and by me being in the States, she couldn't pull all that stuff. She got not a dime out of me for nothing. It was bad. She had, for the next 20, 30 years, man, she had me. I've been homeless. All my money I had to get to her. That's what I'm saying. I don't worry about a goddamn thing. All I do is make sure my positive energy, and that protects you, even though you may not realize the situation, because it looked like a bad situation. It turns out that's the best thing could happen, because the best thing would happen, I hadn't met her. The good thing about it is I learned a lesson about females. I ain't seen all females like that. I learned to react to females that way. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like a bad thing, but it was actually a good thing. And I actually a lot more situations like that. I can tell you this over and over again. So that's why I'm going to show you this. See, because when you're moving in, if you go, that's why I don't have any fear. Because you're letting go of that old stuff, and new stuff is coming in. But you hold on to old stuff, you cling into old stuff, therefore all kinds of bad things happen to you. Because if you hold on to the winter, none but bad things happen to you. Because if you hold on to snow and everything, snow is melting. You hold on to your snow castle, you're gonna be homeless because the snow castle's gonna melt. You're holding stuff, so you can have bad things keep happening to you because you keep holding. You won't let go and move on to the spring. Start new thinking. All of that makes sense. You're not going to move on. Okay, this is the mission of covenant Joshua. Now I'll move on about this. It was getting late, and I got some more things to do here. So let me see. It's telling Joshua. But see, I was telling people that this applies to them too. It's telling Joshua, because I'm going to show you a verse that actually tells you, applies to you. It said, there should no man be able to stand before thee all the days of life. Thou with Moses I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Be strong of good courage. For unto this people shalt thou divide for inheritance the land which I swear unto thy fathers to give them. That means we're going to get them. He said, tell Suleiman, you're going to get that. You know, Suleiman, you're going to get that. And ain't nobody going to get in your way. Nobody's going to stand against you. Only be strong and good, courageous. Be strong. Don't be afraid. Don't be timid. That thou mayest observe do according to our law. That's the angel. Angel mind, which Moses my servant command thee, and turn not from it, neither right nor left, that thou mayest prosper where thou goest. See, given that frequency, you ain't got to worry about a goddamn thing, nothing. But you got to, it takes work. Like I say, hey man, if you can lift 1,000 pounds, man, hey, but it takes some work to do that. Let's move on. Some more quotes here. Book of the law it's a book. The law shall not depart. It means it's knowledge. Shall not depart out of thy mouth. Remember? In thy mouth. Thou shalt meditate therein day and night. Thou mayest observe according to all that's written therein. Right? Thou shalt make thy way prosperous. Thou shalt have good success. If not, I command thee, be strong and of good courage. And be not afraid, neither thou be dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee. Thou goest. Can't say about Farrakhan. They blew his ass up. Putting that shit in a bag. Now he can't even dress. He walking around a jumpsuit. Let's move on. No weapon that's formed against thee shall prosper. Every tongue shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. The heritage of serves the Lord and their righteousness is somebody also applies not just to Solomon, anybody that picks up that book and gets on that frequency. No weapon that's formed against thee shall prosper. And nobody's going to be a spirit against you. They don't have faith. Because after 4 or 5 years, you can't break one verse down yet. You ain't studying. You tell somebody else, you ain't telling me. Nobody helped me. So he's so smart. Well, I wasn't born, who's born smart? Anybody speak a language? Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in thy heart and thy soul, and bind thee for a sign upon the hand, as thou mayest be frontless between the eyes, and shall touch thee and teach them your children, speaking of them which thou saidst in thine house. And when I'm stumbling. Read it on your own, brothers and sisters. Let me just go bigger here. It's telling me keep. It's not just talking about the angel, because when you get home, the angel's not going to be any good anymore. It's like the crime. We have to get another book that moves to the next level. See, that your days should be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which Lord swore to your fathers to give them, as days of heaven. See, Farrakhan, he's telling you God's a liar, because he said, we're going home. But he said, Farrakhan, we ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He's trying to hold you back into the frequency that he's on. Because that's where he's successful at. If you move to high frequency, spring destroys winter. For if thou shalt diligently keep all the commandments, for if thou shalt diligently keep all these commandments which I commanded you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all those nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. We're going to take it all back. Every place where thy soul, thy feet shall tread, shall be yours. From the wilderness of Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, that's Arabia, even to uttermost sea shall your coast be. Therefore shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land, shall tread upon it. Everybody's going to fear you. They're going to fear our women too. And we should never touch our women. Move on. And here we go. Beware of false prophets, which come you. That's the demons, Farrakhan and those folks. But inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. So watch they do. Farrakhan has produced a goddamn thing. See? Do men gather, the men gather grapes or thorns or figs or thistles? Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not fruit, good fruit, is hewn down and cast to the fire. And now when you cut a tree down, you throw it in the fire. I keep warning people, they don't listen. Therefore, be their fruit, you shall, by their fruit you shall know them. They ain't producing anything, you know who they are. Everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom. Not every man that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, enter the kingdom, just because you be friendly and everything, that's not going to do it. But he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven, that obeys Master Prophet Muhammad and grabs on that angel. Many shall say to me that day, Lord, Lord, and we not prophesied in thy name, that means just echoes. Instead of studying, they're going to show you, oh, repeat what I'm saying instead of studying. That's not doing you any good. And thy name hath cast out devils. Thy name thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. You got to come to that level, bro. There's no way, no other way around it. Let's do some close, brothers and sisters. This is what we're up against right here. This is what we're up against right here. This was a state. Their state. We have nothing. They have everything about us. I always explain this. That's what the war is. That's apocalypse. Take all this back. But they're going to resist. The first is just coming here. They're going to attack us. When the bullets start flying over the Middle East, which will be any day now, maybe any hour now, they're going to attack us. Attack all blacks, not just us, all blacks. This is, again, this is where Elijah Muhammad. All that, this is in every FY meeting. Let me move on. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. I don't think I want to. I was going to talk about some other things, but I got a little distracted there. Let's see if hold on, boss. Let me see if I might see something else here. See what I got. Gotcha, that's one thing here. Okay. Now close. Okay, Brown says, this is what's happening right now. They're at war. This is what Mr. Trump is facing. Let's go and show. Okay. What's that all about, brothers and sisters? What it's saying is internal, external pressure, right? What it's saying here is that's Trump's dilemma, because you go to war to get people's mind off Epstein, but he's in a lot of trouble there, right? Or vice versa. Or try to get your mouth with Epstein. Otherwise, you got to deal with Epstein if you don't go to war. Humiliation, which probably they say might in his presidency, because he was caught doing that stuff. They said, "Hey man, which one? If I go to war, we're gonna be in trouble." Go to war, I'm gonna be in trouble. I get them out of Epstein, but hey, we're gonna get our heads torn up, or don't go to war. And they get me with the Epstein stuff. That's it, boss. So I'm gonna close out here. Look at it one more time and close. Okay, brothers and sisters. Again, frequency wavelength. So I got the Injil, stop moving that. Everything changed because all the stuff, all the bad things that was every time somebody came at me, they always backfired on them. No one's hurt me. Nothing bad has happened. When something bad happens, turns out it was a good thing. I had a car. And the car started, at least the car started acting up, right? And some other issues, right? And then I'm going this place, and this woman, she runs the red light, hits the car, right? And at that time, I was having some trouble where we was living, and I was tired. I wanted to move out. I told him, because my wife, she kind of used to. She used to have strokes with me, boy, because I had no fear. It's like, when I left Chicago and went to New Jersey, right? I had a demon wife out of Chicago. She didn't want to divorce the client. With me that Friday, I was in New Jersey. That time I was into Thunderbird cars, right? I had brand new, decent, I think about $300 in my pocket. Nowhere to go, anything. He said, how you do stuff like that? I said, I don't worry. Even before I got Injil, I don't worry about stuff like that. I still have pressure works. When you understand that, you're fearless. Fear numbered a lot, but as soon as they say that, but you have to gotta get America to protect them. Really? People say, how you do stuff like that? And 2 years later, I'm living in a mini mansion, got 2 houses, rolling in dough, because I know how to generate positive energy, which they call good luck. So if you got that, you don't need to have money. You got a lot of money, you got bad luck. What that money gonna do for you? So things just kept working. So once I started Injil, all the stuff I had before just went away. And things don't happen. Other things don't happen. So they said that woman hit me. And got a brand new car, had a nice settlement. We was in the process of moving it. We actually just moved. Why? How are you going for it? I said, why do you stop worrying about money? Don't worry about it. And there's a guy's mouth smoke. That took care of all that, man. She got plenty of money. She's happy. She keeps saying it happen all the time. She said, no matter how they come at me, it always turns out in my favor. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Isn't that Farrakhan and clowns? That's why right now they're going crazy. They go all this kind of stuff because it's their reality. They're holding on to this world's life, this winter, and now it's turning to static. They're trying to clear it up. So they talk all kinds of shit don't make any sense. That's what static is. Everything I say it makes sense. You can prove it. You can check it mathematically. I have to make stuff up. One day it's God, one day it's not God, one day it's God makes you in the womb. Next day it's one father do it and all this crazy stuff. Because they get more static. And static means it's harder to think, harder. It's stuff to make less sense because snowman is smelting. No matter how you do it, you can't. The snowman start losing its form, start drooling, dripping. So the whole thing is falling apart over there. They had nobody to show up in that dead so-called Mars. They go in there, clean everybody there, and they got to put men in every other seat to make it look like it's one full. That's the whole thing. See, they say he had nobody to help. Now he spent time teaching people for 5 years, and they do everything with it. And you see the demons out here; they out there all over the place. Friday, they all over the place. They're fighting, trying to hold on to the winner. Right now, every time I look around, it's moving on the YouTube. They're all over the place. But people that got this knowledge, they got atomic bombs. I gave them everything, laser beams, all of it. They said just hold it like a deer in a spotlight, whatever they call it. So it causing all kinds of bad luck. But like I said, energy is energy. You might think it's money. You got energy, you're not doing anything with it. So now you got all this negative, bad luck that you created for yourself. Everything's happening, bad things happening. You're in desperation. But this happened. When you could be mellow. My life is mellow. It's happy. It comes where everybody's happy and comfortable. Life. The only stress in my life. There's two things that stress my life. I have to live in that Sunday shit every Sunday. I hate doing that. And those people that came around distracted me 4 or 5 years. But I produced nothing. And now it's gone. But I've wasted my time. A lot of time I've wasted. Putting watering, fertilizing that tree, there's nothing. That's where we are, brothers and sisters. So, like I said, closing, do yourself a favor. These are a month's worth of food. You might not need that much. Come together. Not the leaders of tribulation. Don't have our leaders. That's Levites, but they're in bad shape. It's the best you can hope for. Because in a few more days, I will have control of NOI. What we hope for is that there's somebody in there that can pick up and run with it. That can lead you through tribulation. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. If you had listened to Elijah, you wouldn't have to do it. America held you down for 50 years. Held you in that same wave for 50 years. We should have moved to the next one. You've been walking out here with me. You're walking out here with me when I leave. I said you got to go to tribulation. Assalamu alaikum.